What's up, guys? And
What's up?
here we are with a new episode. It's the fifth one, huh?
Yeah, we're the
Fifth one. And today we're going to talk about.
Today we're gonna talk about. He points to me
Yeah.
because he forgot.
No, I give you the.
Dealing with disagreements and transforming them in the conflicts into opportunities.
Yeah. So if you're new, it's really important to listen to the first four episodes because we were talking about what is communication. Then we talk about disc assessment, type of personality. We also talk about love language and the five type of wound.
Wounds.
So it's really important to understand that because it's the basis from everything. We're gonna do a lot of references.
References.
We're gonna do a lot of references.
References.
Yeah, whatever you get it. On that four subjects. So make sure to listen to the first four episodes. So then now we're gonna talk about different subject, and
Yeah, exactly.
that's the foundation.
Exactly. So, like we mentioned in the previous episodes, the first four episodes were really the foundation of our whole podcasts, just so that you understand what type of personalities we are and how we react and maybe why we see things the way that we see. You'll understand that in the first four episodes. So, first question is, what's the difference between a healthy disagreement and a toxic conflict that would destroy maybe a relationship?
Yeah. Well, I think healthy disagreement it's when I think you're not right, and toxic it's when I'm
when I-
right. Yeah, exactly.
I think.
Yeah,
you're right,
exactly.
yeah.
That's
Okay. End of episode.
it.
No.
Well, I think it depends of the situation. First of all, it's hard to say if something is toxic or something is it's not toxic. I think it's about how you communicate it and how you listen to it.
Yeah.
So something that's not supposed to be toxic can become toxic and vice versa.
Exactly. I think it's the way that you deal with it, the
Yeah.
way that you decide to deal with the conflict and with the disagreement that determines if it's a toxic one or not. I mean, wait, let's say a toxic disagreement we could say is jealousy, like extreme jealousy where, hey, I don't want you to speak to your friend anymore because, I don't know, I have a feeling. Let's say you never gave me a reason to be distrustful, and I react the way I react because of my past experiences before you and because of what happened in my life before we were in a relationship together, or because of one of my past relationships. And so when I deflect them on you, I think that becomes
Yeah.
toxic.
And a lot of people do that kind of stuff in a subconscious way because psychologically we have something that is called bias, and we use
Confirmation bias.
well different type of bias. I'm gonna talk a little bit about it, but it's really important to understand because we see most of our life through those bias. So let's say I'm gonna use an example.
An easy way to explain it would be like all different lenses.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But it creates filter. So let's say a bias. It's me. I'm gonna use it with investing because
That's your field.
It's my field. But let's say you're investing, and you see a company or a project. It's at $100. That's the price where you see it. When it correct to $100 to $50, a lot of people gonna think, oh, $50 it's a good price because their base is $100. So this is what we call how you say it in English, anchored
Anchor.
anchor bias, your mind is anchored to something, so you see it through that filter. So now that my reality is, I saw that stock or that crypto or whatever or that asset at $100. Now it's at 50. It's a good price, but it's not true. Maybe it's still over evaluated. But it was true that it was $100. So you can take that and put it in different aspect in your life where something is true, but that doesn't mean, well, first it was the good thing, and it doesn't mean that it's still true. And then you're gonna use that filter to create what we call confirmation bias. So then I think and I see everything in my life in this filter. And naturally, where focus go, energy flow. If that's the only thing I see, that's the only thing I'm gonna see again and again and again and again. And I think a lot of people, sometimes you buy a car, you buy a new car. Think at last time you buy a new car.
Or you just really want
a specific car, yeah.
Yeah.
And suddenly, I don't know, you buy a blue, sporty Lexus or Toyota, whatever. And now you're driving around in the city and suddenly everybody got the same freaking car.
All you can
the
see
same
is that
blue car. You see it everywhere. But we know, like, it's not us. Suddenly they saw you buy the car, so everybody was like, yeah, we're gonna buy the same car. It was always there. But now your focus is on this. So your brain is showing you this. And it's really important, I think, in life to understand those bias, because most of the decision in life are made with those bias.
Yeah.
And a lot of time it's based on emotion. And emotion, they just amplify the bias, and normally it amplify it in the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's so I'm just gonna, like, all the stereotype, like French do this or this culture do this. This is all what we call retrospection bias. So the brain will think one stuff because you saw like 2-3 people, like you see
Latin people eat spicy.
yeah,
No,
you see like
everybody-
3 Mexican people eat spicy, so like Mexican people eat spicy. But this is retrospection bias filter in few information you had, and then a lot of time that bias is created by a group bias. So now if a group of people think the same thing or say the same thing, it just reinforces that bias
You're
and
going far.
that way of thinking. But it's false.
But you're going
Yeah,
far.
but that's a relationship though. If you, I'm going far. It's
Yes,
true, I'm
but-
going far. But if you understand all the stuff, your life's gonna change for you and people around you.
Yeah, for sure. But in a relationship, I don't think that you're going to apply so much of the retrospective bias
Yes.
and the group bias.
Yes, of
and
course.
I
All
don't
your
think-
past relationship.
Yeah, okay.
You're gonna do
retrospective
retrospection bias, confirmation bias with your past relationship. If you do, the last 2 person you were with, they cheat on you doing this thing, like talking on the
Yeah.
phone to someone. Now they talk on the
Yeah.
phone. Retrospection bias.
True.
You're
And if
not gonna see
vulnerable-
clearly.
If you're vulnerable, you've never been cheated on, but all your best friends have been cheated on.
Group bias.
Yeah, group bias. You're right.
Bias are everywhere in relationship, business, investment, personal life.
You're right. You're right.
We can do a full podcast on bias.
You can do a full podcast on that.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're here to talk
No.
about.
But now you know it exists. So be the first level of
Question yourself.
everything
basically.
is to be conscious of it.
Every decision leads to a reaction. If you think that in life you don't take as many decisions, you're wrong. Like every single reaction, you decide to react that way.
Yep.
I got tattooed on my hand, choose happy. Why? Because every single morning we have the power of decision to wake up happy, to act happy, to be happy. Whatever's going on in your life, you always have that power of decision. And so every reaction, you decide the way that you react to that. So be really careful about all the biases that are in your life, all the past experiences that you've lived. There's a quote that I absolutely love that says, I'm bleeding or you're bleeding on the people that didn't cut you.
Mm.
And that's so strong. How do we get to the subject? Oh, toxic
Toxic
conflict.
conflict.
Yeah.
But then we start to explain a little bit how they're we how we
Why are they
yeah,
toxic? Why people
exactly.
react that way? Right. So yeah, toxic conflict. When let's say Sam has absolutely nothing to do with my reaction. I'm 100% reacting based on one of my previous relationships. That would be toxic. Why? I haven't healed. If I'm reacting this way with him, it's because there's something that I haven't realized. There's something that has not been healed and understood within myself. And that's why I'm exploding onto him. That's why I'm bleeding onto him. And he doesn't have to take my blood.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to take my explosion.
And the big thing about all of this, it's at the beginning of a relationship. And here we talk about, yeah, of course, couple, but
Yeah.
also relationship in general. It can be business, group, community,
Parents,
parent,
family, whatever.
parent, family. What I'm gonna do, it's say now it's a little bit harder because you don't choose your parent. But I was about to say you need to say the thing at the beginning of the relationship. Like me and Alanis and me, what we did, it's at the beginning of relationship, we create some kind of word, because a lot of time when it go
Reference
from
words.
reference word, when it go from small thing to, let's say, something toxic, but it's just not, the person just not gonna explode like that. You say,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I make that little plant trip and now Alanis explode. It's not that. It's not the little plant. It's all the accumulation of small thing again and again and again, a small thing here and there that you're not talking about.
Yeah.
And in French we say
Brie.
bris. I don't know, in English
Brie,
it's
which
like
means like broken.
yeah, like broken.
Or, yeah, something's been broken.
Yeah. So it's like maybe I say something, I act away, and Alanis, she doesn't like that. So
Yeah.
she gonna say that word so I can be conscious that, oh, I did something that
Yeah.
make her feel bad.
You're going super fast. I feel. I think that the base of this is that whenever there's something, that was our rule, okay? So whenever he did something or I did something that slightly, even in the slightest, bothered us, we said brie.
Yeah.
And that automatically for us meant
Oh.
I did something that hurt him or her. I did something that triggered them for a reason, and now I'm going to be careful. So instead of accumulating and accumulating and accumulating and eventually snapping and you thinking, oh my God, what did I get myself into? He's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, it's just a little plant. Come now, we're gonna put it back.
Yeah. Realizing, well, have you noticed that when people explode, if I explode onto you, you're going to explode onto me.
Yeah.
Because why am I attacking you?
It's an unchained reaction.
Yeah, but it's a natural reaction. If you feel attacked, you're going to attack back. And so what the word brie does for us is that I'm not exploding. Brie is my way to tell him, hello, I'm hurt. Something you've done hurt me. And so instead of him feeling attacked and being like, well, I didn't do this and I didn't do this and you did this and blah, 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 it makes him be in a completely
Aware.
vulnerable state, because I am as well. And instead of being on the defensive mode, he's going to be on the, how can I say that?
Yeah, I'm gonna be open. I'm gonna be like, I want to understand. I'm not defending. I'm trying to understand what happened.
Exactly.
It's completely different.
Réconfort. How do we say réconfort?
I don't know.
Okay.
But
well,
it's a completely different state of mind. One, you're defensive. One, you're open to listen. One, you're leaning in.
yeah, so okay, so one mode you're in defense mode and the other mode you're in protect mode. Because at the end of the day, you love me. I love you. I would never want to hurt you in my life. And so when you say brie, that indicates to me, shit, I did something wrong.
Yep.
And so you tell that to me and I'm like, oh no, what did I do? What happened? I obviously that wasn't my intention. And so that's one of the ways, one of multiple ways, because that's one word and we have a lot of words.
And I think honestly, it's not often. It's really not often that you have one conflict that's gonna create an explosion.
No.
I think it's just this. It's just
It's
an
always
accumulation
accumulation.
of little things that you don't talk, and you're like, it's okay. I'm gonna pass. It's okay. I'm gonna go over it. It's okay. It's a small thing. Yeah, but small thing plus small thing plus small thing plus small thing
Makes a big
kind of create a big thing.
compound effect.
Especially that you have other stuff going in life. I mean, maybe business, maybe other family member, maybe work. So now you're compounding everything together, and
you're gonna explode on the person you feel most
comfortable
comfortable with.
even if it's not fair. That human, they're incredible. They always explode with people they find the more comfortable
Exactly.
and most close to, because they feel that those people's not gonna leave.
Exactly. You
So
know
they
that
feel
they're
comfortable.
not gonna leave, so you explode on
If
them.
you don't know me and you explode on me, there's two situations. I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm gonna give, who's that? Who's that guy? Who's that girl? Like, we know each other for 1 hour. You're crazy, you know?
Yeah, why are you snapping on me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just gonna even escalate it in certain situation. So ironically, we often explode even other stuff on people around us that doesn't deserve it, because we feel confident to do it,
Yeah.
which is kind of really toxic. And we almost all do it, even sometime without
Even
realizing.
us.
Yeah.
It happened to us that we did it, and eventually we were like, you didn't say the word. What
Yeah.
happened? Why did you let it accumulate? And sometimes it's also because life happens, you guys. It's not always easy. It's not always you're not always going to notice that something that one person said hurt you until they say it again and they say it again, and eventually you're really mad because now you're realizing that you got hurt and whatever they said was hurtful. But
So the first technique to désamorcer, to stop a conflict, to get out of the conflict, it's to not get in that conflict in the first time by talking. When I was doing judo, I had an old Japanese sensei, and sometime we were in a choke, you know. And one time someone asked, "Sensei, how do I get out of that choke?" And he said, "You don't get in that choke." Like, you don't get in that vulnerable position where you can get choked. You did 10 mistakes before, that's why you're here. You avoid that 10 mistake and you're not getting in that choke.
yeah.
So it's a little bit that. It's how can we communicate on all the small things so we don't get in that situation.
Yeah, so we don't get into the big fight. And one thing that we realized that as well with that technique is that it's really easy to escape the conflict
Oh, yeah.
and escape what hurt you. So I'm going to take us for an example. I used to, as you know, one of my wounds is humiliation. And I used to think that every single comment or joke that Sam said to me was a shaming comment.
Pinch.
Yeah, it was like he was throwing me knives, passive aggressively.
And me, I was like, oh my God.
And him, it was just a joke. He was
Like,
raised in a family that was really, really rough, and you say those kinds of jokes. And to me, I took it all as, oh my God, he's shaming me. Oh my God, he's shaming me. And in the beginning, I told him, I was like, Brie, what you said, it was hurtful, blah, blah. And so he stopped, but then he said something else by habit of messing around with his family. And I was like, once again, Brie. And he was like, but what am I going to do? Am I just going to stop making jokes with you? Like, we have to understand, why is this hurting you? And
That's the second thing.
That's the second step.
It's way too easy to say brie.
Yeah, because
No, but you have to be self-conscious now.
Exactly.
Why do it affect me?
Exactly. Why is my boyfriend making a joke to me hurting me?
Yep.
Like, why? What happened in my life in the past with my parents, with my family, with my friends, or whatever, that the fact that he says that is hurting me right now? First of all, what are his intentions? he already made clear that his intentions wasn't to hurt me. It was just to laugh because he was used to doing that with his mom or whatever. And
That's another subject.
yeah.
We can go far on that side too.
And now he says it to me and he's like, I don't understand. I'm just joking. I don't want to hurt you. And me, I'm like, well, it hurts me. So whatever, stop. But it's not that easy.
But there's no self-conscious now.
No, exactly. He was like, no, it's not just stop.
You cannot say
why
just
is this
stop.
hurting
Yeah,
you?
exactly.
And same thing with him. I used to start all my so Sam and I debate a lot, okay? And I used to start all my sentences, even when I agreed with him, with a no but.
Oh my God.
He used to say something and I would be like, no but, no but. Instead of saying yes and, I would say no but, blah, blah.
Or just, I understand, and it's no but. Never do that. Me, you say no but, okay, like it's literally conflictual. You say no, but. It's like, anyway.
And let's say he would say chocolate is really good, and I would be like, no, but chocolate 85% is really good, but there's still the like 60 and 50% that's
Whatever,
really
yeah.
not healthy for you and blah blah. And so I would still agree with him, but the only thing that he heard was the disagreement.
The no but.
And I was like, I understand, you're 100% right. It's not a good way to start a sentence, but at the end of the day, why does it bother you so much? Because I am agreeing with you. I'm just not starting the sentence the way you want it to.
At a certain point, I even doesn't hear the rest. I just hear no but, and I'm like, what's up? Like, what's up? No but
yeah,
what?
Yeah, he used to get mad. I would just say no but, and he used to be like, what? What again? What don't you agree with again? But then, we went into your wound and we realized that you have the...
But no, but it's not. It's never a good way to communicate with people. No, about in general.
Yeah, I know.
You don't say no, but.
I know.
Yes, and I understand, and.
It's just that I'm
just
used
don't
to
choose
having
no
a debate with you.
But.
I love it.
No, but.
I love creating conflict.
Okay, I understand. So then we can do podcast about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're here at the end of the day.
But the first thing I think it's that it's not letting little thing escalate like at that level.
Never let things escalate. If
I call it. We call it also lemon juice. You have a lot of lemon juice, you know.
Because lemon juice is sour, and so I don't know. We came up with that name.
Lemon juice. Too much lemon juice.
Yeah. So if we notice that one of us didn't say brie, and we let the accumulation
Literally too much.
And let's say I pass a passive aggressive comment or he does, we're just gonna look at each other and we're gonna be like, yeah, you have a lot of lemon juice inside of you, huh?
Time to talk, huh?
You're very sour.
Time to talk, yeah. But it's really important, guys. Just don't go like brie. You need to reflect on yourself. You cannot go, because then it's gonna create a new conflict. If every time you say brie or whatever the word you use, then at a certain point the other person's gonna be like, yo, he's gonna
I can't
hear
even
it,
be myself.
and he's gonna be like, yo, come F off, like you say it every time. What's your freaking problem? You
just
use
as
it
an
non-stop.
excuse. Yeah, exactly.
So you need to reflect. It's not just you need to say, but why? Why I'm feeling this way? Because if now I call you a stupid idiot, and you don't feel like, if we're walking and like, hey, stupid, me, I'm not gonna turn around. If someone is in the street and scream, hey, stupid, and then you turn around and you're like, you call me stupid, but why you turn around?
Yeah,
Did you recognize yourself?
Exactly.
Like, what's happening? So it need to be in you to give it. Like, you cannot give love if it's not in you. You cannot give anger if it's not in you. So you need to say like, okay, yeah, you did this. I don't like that. But why now? Why I'm reacting like this?
Why does it bother me so much?
Yeah, why is bothering me exactly?
And that's healing at the end of the day, guys. Maybe you're listening to this and you're like, man, I've been in a relationship for over a year and we haven't discussed this yet. Who cares? Discuss it now. It's never too late. You can always find time to communicate with your partner, with your friends. I discussed it with my boss, who is also my friend at some point, because I was like, you know what? your personality is this, and my personality is this, and I care about you, and I don't want to be mad at you. I don't want to be mad at you, so please use this word with me, and I'm going to use this word with you, and whenever I use this, it means that you're being too rough.
Yeah. And then when you talk, it's really important to understand the intention. Like Alanis was saying, I do a joke. What's the intention? So she understand my intention. And then she understand her wound. So like me, I understand the wound and I know my intention, and her, she understand my intention and she know the wound, and then you just grow from there, and it's never going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Imagine a life where everything's perfect.
That would be
We're
boring.
so bored. Yeah. So it's not going to be perfect. That's the beauty of it. You're growing forever.
Exactly. And as you grow together and discuss all your wounds together, like why does this hurt me? Why is he saying this? Why does she act that way or whatever? You're growing together, you guys. You're healing together. Like, how do we say? Que lo quieras o no? My mind's in Spanish. I don't know. But you can always grow together. You can always do more. And
communicate, create rule, talk to each other, create those words. If it's the beginning of the relationship, do it. If it's
and use a silly word, you guys.
Yeah,
like
something funny.
Brie, yes, it's broken, but because actually brie comes from bris de communication, which is like broken communication. And so that's why we use it. But sometimes something happens at the grocery store and we have cheeses that are brie, the brie cheese. And so we pick up a brie and we give it to each other and we make jokes because
make it
don't take yourself so
funnier.
seriously.
Don't take it personal.
You love each other at the end of the day. So communicate, be happy, and we'll see you on the next episode where we'll talk about...
But last thing, even in general, not just couple, don't let the lemon juice get in and in and in. If you have something to say to someone, go with that person, business, work, whatever, and tell them.
If you care about them.
Yeah, tell them. And if then for X reason there's something happening and they get out of your life for X reason, well, good thing, because it's going to be really hard.
At least you know you made the efforts to communicate with them, because
exactly
that's everyone deserves that. I think everyone deserves to be told when they do something that people might dislike and might be hurtful.
And normally things don't go wrong when you do it.
And if it goes
like
wrong,
that.
well, wrong person, wrong time, wrong life.
All right.
Not meant to be.
Exactly.
So in the next episode, we're going to talk about fixing your limits and respecting the other person and yourself at the same time. I feel like we've been all over the place in this episode.
No, but it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
See you on the next episode.
See you next week. Bye.
C'est vrai qu'on était...
On a été partout.